Good evening, traders, and welcome to this week's Forex Focus. I hope you've all had a good week in the markets. There are some great moves out there last week. In today's show, as with every single show, we're going to look ahead at the FX markets and look at some of the opportunities that could be presenting themselves. And in this week's show, we're going to be focusing on some of the euro pairs. Last week in the euro, as you all probably saw, basically all of the euro pairs pretty much sold off quite a bit. So you had the euro Aussie break through this key level over here, and we'll look at it on the daily chart just so you can look at the key level. So it broke beneath this key level over here at the 1.4353 level. It also broke through a key level on the euro dollar charts over here at the 1.0944 level, and if actually we bring it down over here, we've got the extreme low at the 1.0912 level. So it broke beneath all of those levels on the euro Aussie and the euro dollar chart. And one would think in that situation that, oh, I've actually missed the move, so there's pretty much nothing else that I can look to trade. But that is not the case. First of all, looking into next week's trading, if we look at some of the shorter term time frames, we can see that it's only just broken beneath those levels. So what we could look at in the euro dollar and the euro Aussie is we could look for an opportunity to resell these pairs if the market holds beneath these levels. However, if we don't get the technical setup on the euro Aussie or the euro dollar, so let's say for example it opens up later on this evening and it just gaps down and continues going lower and lower and lower, then one might think that you don't have any other opportunities to sell the euro short and benefit from its weakness. However, having said that, there are two pairs that are particularly interesting to me going into this week. The first one is the euro yen. So if we take a look at the euro yen here, and let's zoom in there just a little bit like that. If we take a look at the euro yen, we can see that it's been forming, it's been playing with a trend line, as you can see here at the bottom. So it came down to this level once, it came down to it twice, it came down to it and it played for a third time on Friday. And right now we're just waiting for the market to break through this trend line. So if it does break through this trend line, then that might be one way of expressing your short bias towards the euro. If you don't get enough time, so let's say, for example, you're watching this on Monday morning because you haven't seen it on the Sunday night and the Asian session has already taken this lower, then there might be another opportunity, and this is one that I really do like from a longer term perspective, to sell through a very similar sort of setup as we had on the Euro Aussie, but we have it here on the Euro New Zealand. And you can see that the Euro New Zealand hasn't broken through this level yet. It's kind of coming up to a structural low at the 1.5041 level. And what we'd be looking at, and this is basically one of my favorite trades for next week, is for the market to break beneath this level. Now, depending on the price action will depend on whether I take an initial break through this level or if I wait for some sort of a pullback. What I won't do is I won't sell a break of this level as soon as the price gets down to this level. I want to see the market react to it in some way. So if it sort of bounces from here a little bit and then breaks, then I will take the break of the level. If the market smashes through this level without paying any sort of attention to it whatsoever, then I'm going to want to see the market basically pull back to it somewhat, sort of play around in that area before I then sell the break. Because, you know, in my experience, you can sell the breaks of those levels immediately, but what you need to take into account is the market's already moved a fairly significant, way. By the time it gets down to that level, it will have moved nearly 800 pips by the time it gets down to here without so much as consolidating a little bit. And we always like to see a little bit of consolidation, a little bit of price acceptance in the markets before you take a trade. You don't want to be chasing a trade, and that's where so many new traders, so many retail rookie traders, they go wrong. They want that additional confirmation. So by the time they get into a trade, it's gone so very, very far. They get into a trade when it's been trending for a long time because they don't like getting in after consolidation. Whereas I personally prefer looking at it from a longer term perspective. I want to see the market get down to a level, and then I want to see it consolidate for a little bit. I want to see the market pay attention to a level, because then it gives me a better idea as to what it's going to do at that level. Then we can open ourselves up for an opportunity to trade the bounce. If it gets down to that level, it breaks through, then it fails to hold beneath it. We're ultimately, I guess what I'm trying to say here is we're not guessing, which is what a lot of so many rookie traders do. They guess. They look at a level and they think to themselves, you know what, I think it's going to turn around here. Based on no analysis whatsoever, just their gut feeling. And then they get involved in the trade. And some of them, that will pay you. You will make money from it. But, from my personal experience, I like waiting to see what the reaction is to a level and then trading based off of that reaction. Okay, so I hope you found a lot of value in this. As always, please remember that this is for educational purposes only. We are not in any way telling you that you should be taking any one of these trades. We're just literally telling you or talking to you about some of the trades that we're looking at in our own accounts. We're not authorized or regulated to give trading advice. So this is just kind of to show you how we analyze the markets, to give you a couple of ideas of charts that you could perhaps go and look at and then go and do your own analysis and your own due diligence on, and then kind of go from there. All right. So thank you very much for watching. Please remember, give us a thumbs up, post a comment beneath the video, all of that kind of good stuff. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in next week's Forex Focus.